Hi, it's Oddball1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Xbox One. And today I just thought I'd bring you a fun video with some snippets of my beam to lance in action. Sometimes it breaks and sometimes it doesn't. It's probably my favourite PvP ship, even though I die in it way more than I do in my other PvP ships. It's the one I like to have fun in, just whack on silent running, commit suicide, go out firing some beautifully bright beams, just trying to do as much damage as I can before I get taken out. If it's a 1v1 situation, my record in the Rambo is way better against people than my record in this ship, but this is the ship I normally reach for if somebody challenges me to 1v1 because it's more fun. I love it. It feels like an underdog because everyone's always got the more banks. You know, I've got a one and done shield. I've got no way of cancelling banks, so I've got to eat through a lot of shields to get through. I have to evade. I have to fly. You know, all out, taking risks with usually 0-3-3 and just really give it a go, have some fun. And yeah, it's a great fun ship, and if in the right circumstances, at the right range, at the right time, with the right heat, it melts. It really does melt, and it looks so cool when it's doing it because it's just so bright and fun. And this is the only FDL I've ever held on to. And if you go back on my channel, you'll see I've owned loads of FDLs over time and always sold them, always got rid, because the cockpit just drives me nuts. But in this, I can cope with the cockpit being wonky and the seating position being awful. You know, I've got used to it. The beam to lance is just so much fun. The brightness of the beams, the silliness of the ship. I mean, yeah, it's a full gimbal scrub build. It's, I have got the fixed beams for it, but I very rarely run them. I only ever use them against a big, and only if we're guaranteed to be facing a big, and that doesn't happen very often. I haven't got the skills to stay on target long enough to make the fixed beams work, but with the gimbal beams, I can really, keep the beams going on target, keep working away, putting up with the chaff, the target lock breaker, all the other things that I have to deal with as being a gimbal scrub. But ultimately, just for those moments when the beams are at perfect range, at perfect heat, and as bright as anything, I can put up with all that because it's so much fun to use this ship. It is the ultimately silliest ship that I own, and I have died in it more than any other ship, and yet every time I die in it I always have a big fat smile on my face as I usually melt to my death while my canopy's out, trying desperately to put out some last bits of DPS before I go down. It is so much fun. And recently I had a really good 1v1 with DevBots. The last time DevBots was on my channel was him dying in his Corvette a few times, and given I haven't seen him for ages, and given the last video I put up with him was pretty mean, I thought I'd bring you that 1v1 between me and DevBots. It was an impromptu 1v1 at the CG. He just decided to interdict me. We had a fight, and it was just a fun 1v1. I got absolutely and utterly bent out of shape early on and had to cling on in there for as long as I could, but I'll let you enjoy that fight. This is just some silly wing action between us and TOC. This was me with Pirates Are Us and Old as Bladeborn versus 3 members of TOC. This was an unfair fight, really. They're up against 2 meta lances and me in an all gimbal scrub build, which is something that TOC really do hate. They do hate my beam to lance because it is just all the gimbals. But I thought it was a fun, silly fight, and I thought I'd use it as background for this. And I'll bring you the fight with DevBots now, and I'll say that's all. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy this 1v1, and I'll catch you in the next video.